So welcome everyone to day 2 of the 2024 Vermont Cheese Council Artisan Cheesemakers Winter Conference. I am Claire Natola. I am the education coordinator for the council, and I am thrilled to welcome you on behalf of the entire education team. I want to thank Marty Mundy, Chelsea Johnson, Haley Elkins, all of the Vermont Cheese Council, and the members of our fabulous education committee, Rachel Fritz-Schall, Jamie Pung, and Chad Beckwith. They've all been invaluable helping me put all of this together and to run it all for you these 2 days. So thank you again to all of them. We had a great day 1 yesterday. We got some fascinating information from Bruno Martin on milk quality research and from Carrie Collegian on food safety. And the feedback has been tremendous on our sessions with Christina Chang and Laura Louise Green. Respectively, they talked about recruiting and retention with an equity lens and on self-care, managing your self-care when you work in the food industry. Just a reminder that if you missed any of our sessions when they were live yesterday, we will be uploading the videos next week, and you'll be able to view those on the SCED platform. So we will let you all know when the whole slate of recordings is up there. And speaking of recordings, how was that video tour of Bela Fazenda in Brazil yesterday? Wasn't that amazing? That's how we wrapped up the day, with a happy hour virtual tour of Bela Fazenda. And I thought about putting on makeup today so I could look as beautiful as those cows in the video yesterday. But I wanted you all to recognize me again today, so I didn't bother. But anyway, yes, those videos will be up next week, and we'll let you know when they're ready to view. For those of you who were unable to join us yesterday, I want to just point out a few logistical items that will maximize your enjoyment for the conference today. There is a chat window that you can use to say hello, to introduce yourself, make any observations or comments that you want to the whole group during the presentations. So why don't you go ahead now and practice with that? You can use the chat window to say hi and let us know where you're tuning in from today. We've got attendees from all over, so we'd love to know where you're logging in from. If you have questions for our presenters today, you won't want to put those in the chat window. You want to put those in the Q&A window. So we have facilitators who will be monitoring the Q&A window during each of our sessions. And if you put your questions for the presenters in there, they will field those questions to the presenters, and then those questions don't get lost in the general chit-chat of the chat area. So don't forget chit-chat in the chat window and questions in the Q&A window. If you have any technical issues today, we want you to email info@vtcheese.com. That's info@vtcheese.com. And let me put that in the chat window for you. And I'll repeat that in each of the sessions throughout the day. I'll be sure to paste it into the chat for each of our sessions. So even if you don't have a technical issue now, don't worry. We will put that in the chat all throughout the day. So we have a great slate for you today. I call today Dynamic Duo Day, and not just because I like alliteration. We have a dynamic duo on tap for each of today's sessions. First, we will be talking about feed and its effect on cheese making with Bruno Giboudot and Edward de Berkelar from Obsolim. They will explore the rumen-curd relationship with us. So they are going to talk about how a standard curd measuring technique can allow you to make useful links between feed and the cheese-making quality of the milk. When we talk to our members about the challenges of selling their cheeses, they say that they would like to know how best to connect with distributors and buyers. So we put together a panel discussion for today with Mike Baptista from the distributor Ripe Specialty Foods, and with Maggie Bradshaw, the owner of Truckle Cheesemongers. So you can hear directly from them about what distributors and buyers are looking for. So that will be our second session today after the presentation about Obsolim, or our third session if you consider me to be your first session. And then we'll take a lunch break, and after lunch, we will hold another panel discussion, this one on the subject of business exit planning and considerations. Succession planning is another big topic that we know that our members would like to hear about. So we thought that putting together a panel discussion for cheese producers and dairy farmers who are starting to think about succession planning and their exit strategies. So we're bringing together Mike Gia and Kate Turcott of Land for Good for this discussion. Kate was a cheesemaker herself for years, so she has a particularly pertinent background to bring to the table. So we'll have them for that discussion after lunch. And then we'll close out the day with a travel report from Peter Dixon and Rachel Fritz Shaw. They will tell us what they've observed and learned from visiting and working with other cheesemakers as they've traveled. So you won't want to miss that session. That'll be a great way to wrap up the conference. So we've got all those dynamic duos on tap for today. But as we like to do, we'll kick things off with our social media challenge of the day. And I'm going to publish that right now in our Sked platform. So if you need to be reminded of what it is, you can go to the session description for this little time slot. And I will also paste it into the chat window. So here we go. Few people understand that the cheese that they eat is impacted not just by the cheesemakers themselves, but also by geography and climate. So for our social media challenge of the day, on Instagram, Facebook, or the platform of your choice, tell us some favorite things about the taste and the physical features that your unique space in the world offers for cheese. Share a picture of the landscape that best represents your cheese and tag it with the hashtags that I will put into the chat window. Hashtag ACWC24 and hashtag cheese country, so we can all see your posts. So again, share a picture of the landscape that best represents your cheese and tell us some favorite things about the taste and the physical features that your unique space in the world offers for cheese. Okay, well, we will take a short break and reconvene here at 10 a.m. Eastern Time for the wonderful Bruno and Edward from Obsolim. So we will see you in just a little bit.